porchetta. Yummy. Yummy.
Hedgehog, not a decade. Blue Demon TV, Annabelle, James Jason, Paul, Shiva, Killmonger, Gigi, Daniel, Mia, Enzo.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the show.
Don't leave. I can't let you.
You're still alive, huh? Cool. Before my friends murder you! TikTok! Your life son alive.
Wait!
You're never going to get out of here! Stupid idiot! What are you doing to my cute friends?
Well, hello there. What are you buying? Why was everyone saying, are you awake? Is it because it's like 5:52 a.m. in Australia right now. How are we all, guys? Another day, another live conversation. Craig Thomas, good to see you in here, man. Lewis, thank you so much for the 10. Really appreciate it. Thanks for organizing these interviews, Dan. I really enjoyed watching them, and this is my first one live. Nice to have you in here, Lewis. Thank you for dropping by. Really appreciate it, and thank you for the 10 again. Here we are. We're all dropping in the chat. 2:52 a.m. Venomous. That is dedication. I love it. What do you mean he's awake? What's going on? Oh my goodness. How are you all, guys? The Beneviento. Beneviento. Alright, guys. Angie, Eveline is here. Paula Rhodes is here, guys. Do you want to get straight into it? Now, stick around to the end for an exciting announcement. Another guest coming on. Confirmed. Another guest coming on. Confirmed. So stick around to the end for me to reveal the guest. I hope you enjoy it, guys. Let's get straight into it with Paula Rhodes, everybody. I will get to your super chats. I will get to your messages, your questions. And also, you can become a member of the channel, guys. As always, let's do this. Here we go. Let's just check my volume. All right, we're ready to go.
Hello.
Paula, baby, how are ya?
I'm good. Oh my gosh, look at technology.
What happened?
Across the world.
Oh, of course, I know. Where are you based out of? LA?
LA, yep.
Wow. I love that little background you got there as well.
Oh, thank you, my ladder.
Yeah.
This is our little garage turned guest house turned where we do a lot of self-tapes. And in theory would have guests stay if it were not a global pandemic. So
Yeah.
someday, grand plans.
What's that thing in the back right there? Is that an ornament? What am I looking at there?
I've got it's like a pull-out couch.
Ooh.
Queen size. There's a hidden voiceover booth back here.
Ah.
The old sliding door from the barn we used for the bathroom door. It's fun. And then there's a sleeping loft up there too. So
I was gonna say, you're a professional. You would have a booth somewhere around there, an
kind
enclosed
of had
area.
to this last year. Whew.
Yeah. How did you go?
It was good. I mean, I can't say good. It was freaking COVID, but it was okay. I felt incredibly lucky.
Yeah.
To carry on as we did. I'm honestly, I had a moment there where I wondered if I had wiped all of my memories from last year for half a beat, but I didn't. They're there. Oh, traumatizing. But we got through mostly. Very lucky to be able to do a lot of our playing pretend, even from a distance.
Now, I don't want to make you blush, but everyone's saying you are looking stunning today.
What? Oh gosh,
Yeah.
well I'm on Zoom, so I don't even see what they're saying. I'm going to imagine they just keep saying that because that sounds lovely. It's a filter. No, I'm kidding. Thank you.
So with the voice booth, did you have to makeshift that around March, or had you already got one before then?
I had for years, like a decade or so, been a voice actor. So I had a much more scaled down version in my house, often in a closet or a corner, depending on phases of my life. And then realizing as I moved up the voiceover ladder very slowly, like, oh, this doesn't sound that great, and slowly leveling up. So it wasn't until things got very, very COVID-y that it was like, well, I need to make an actual booth now, guys. So we took our lovely pantry that my husband decided he had to have a hidden door for. We're weird. And lined it and everything. And upscaled the equipment a little bit, and now I stay in the booth and I just make weird voices, and my children are less scared of like the gremlins in the closet.
So where did it all start for you? Because everyone knows you got this incredible talent. I mean, God-given gift, really. Let's be honest.
I feel like my mother knows. I'm very surprised that anybody else discovers that, but it's as lovely.
I don't know how you do it, but like, did you just start doing silly voices and then it just flowed on from there, or what? You wanted to be an actor, or?
Well, nobody's probably noticed this yet, but I have a unique sounding voice. Okay, it's pretty high, which, in other areas can be a little bit of a roadblock, a little bit detrimental, because it's tougher to get taken seriously sometimes, especially also coming in this 5-foot tall package that I have, which I think is immensely doable up to a certain age, and you can kind of coast by on cute, and then you kind of get tired of just being cute, and you'd like to be an adult sometimes. So it was a lot of finding my own way with the instrument one has. But are you asking how I got into acting in general? Is that the?
Yeah. I mean, I just wanted to know, how do you know you've got this voice, and how do you start pursuing that? Do you know what I mean?
Yes,
and working on the
trying
craft.
To figure that one out. I would say it all started back in You're Redacted, when my little sister was on her way, and I was very, very jealous, I guess, of my parents' time all of a sudden. And my dad had this, probably shaping the rest of my future and personality, genius idea that he would take me to the comic book store and let me pick out any comic I wanted. And then every time a new one came out, he would take me, we'd read it, and that'd be our special time together. Even if a baby came and took up all this time, I would have comic book dad time. And he would read these in voices, and each character was different. And my dad, okay, to paint the picture, my dad looks like Ned Flanders come to life, and is a little bit like that. So having like very epic character voices come out of him, as well as all the women's voices too, was it was magical. Really, it was eye-opening, and I kind of got a feeling for how one could really play with storytelling, and an appreciation for the medium of comics, and the depth of storytelling one can take in medium. And I think it kind of, well, I fell in love with fantasy and sci-fi there too. But I think that kind of probably cursed me to doing funny voices and playing with my voice and accents from then on. And rather than just get in trouble in class, I eventually, well, no, you know what? Everything came down to kind of getting into trouble, I guess, or pranks. I entered a pageant as a joke to amuse my friends, where all 5 feet of me thought it would be hilarious. And went in with an old prom dress and ended up winning this thing. My special skill was improv. It was weird. And you just heard my dad in the audience say, "What?" when they announced my name. So thank you, Dad, for the confidence. And I kind of parlayed that into an actual career, because one of the judges was an acting coach in New York, Bob Luke, who I just told him I was going to intern for. And he was like, "Oh, okay." And I had an image of that being, like this high-rise, super schmancy, I'm going to have to get a pair of heels and a blazer sort of internship. And it was definitely like the basement of this brownstone in Midtown. But it was so wonderfully eye-opening, because I spent the summer really learning the business side of acting and storytelling in general, and realized like it was doable. I could do this. I would have to learn a lot and get over that learning curve, I guess, because I hate being the person that doesn't understand how something works. But I did it. It was a pipe dream coming from Missouri, but step by step, I kind of wheedled my way into being able to play pretend. I hope to do it more. Let's do it.
Like, did it start with acting, or was it voices straight away, or what?
It was acting, although it was all film and TV and stage, but at the beginning. Yeah. And if I'm being honest, I had to take a step back when you actually look at branding yourself and and realize that the majority of my characters were sort of living cartoons. I'm a slightly animated human. Yeah, and so despite my dream of being like a Lord of the Rings elf, I think I was more suited to your ridiculously comedic neighbors and
I don't really know, bit of typecasting.
Yeah. So when I kind of embraced that, it was like, okay, that fits more. And along the way, I was inspired by some friends who were also doing voiceover, and I was like, wait, but you actually get to be cartoons. Hang on. And I just I took a class, and I befriended the casting director who called me in for a few things, booked my first voiceover through them gig. And then I had a commercial agent at the time, and I kind of talked my way into the voiceover department for a meeting and offered them this commission in exchange for also repping me in voiceover. You know what? A lot of my journey has been pretending or not knowing that I couldn't and just trying.
Yeah. Anyway. Just giving it a crack.
Yeah, there's not a set path in this particular career. It's a jungle, and you get your machete that you brought with you, and you just kind of find your own way.
I love
Still hacking over here.
Hire this woman. Anyone listening? Any casting directors? For the love of God. So how did Resident Evil come about? Obviously, you're in 7 and now 8. Where did that all start? I mean, what an incredible series to be a part of.
I have to thank my dear friend America Young for that, who is both she started off as an amazing actress and a stunt woman and stunt coordinator, and has moved on to director extraordinaire. But she is such an advocate and champion for those that she knows and works with. And she actually started the Chimera Project, which if you are a female or female identifying storyteller of any sort, go to the chimeraproject.org, start applying for those mentorships and the grants and things, and just follow them, because they are such a resource to help you get started at any phase of your career. So that's my plug for that. But she's like a fairy godmother. She put my name forward for something. And I guess I must have tossed my name in the hat and got me an audition for this game. And at the time, I wasn't allowed to know what game it was. I just know that they needed a little girl, and like 5 feet tall. I'm 12-year-old sized. And I said, yeah, sure, give him my number. And I expected to be called, I don't know. I didn't know if it was that day or a week or two later. But I happened to go into labor with my first baby.
That's right. I remember this story now. Yeah.
And I got the call like an hour after I'd given birth, and I thought it was my aunt. It was not.
So how do you apply? Are you like up in arms a little bit because you thought it was your aunt, or what?
How did I apply? Is that what you said?
Yeah. How did you apply? Like, was it?
Oh, I was. You're perfectly capable of talking for the most part post birth. You're a little tired, but I was running on endorphins. So I was excited, but also I was like, I can't come in tomorrow. Crazy story. Just had a baby. And they were ridiculously understanding. And the producer herself is a mother, and just one of the best humans out there as well. Was on a son. And she was like, enjoy your baby. Oh my gosh, amazing. We'll schedule time in a couple weeks. And I was able to go in then with my newborn. My husband had this teeny baby, and audition for all of Capcom, which was surreal. And I didn't realize it was Capcom at the time. I just thought it was a lot of gents in suits. I'm sure you're aware, having interviewed, you're like Ursula collecting all these voices, right? You've got most of us collected.
I've got you locked in
your garden. So you've heard the stories, but obviously motion capture is such a unique and wonderful adventure in and of itself, in that you have to really get into that 5-year-old brain of yours to play, because you're acting but acting plus, because you don't get the benefit of the props and the costumes and the makeup and the magic that the entire crew brings. It's spandex and dots, and PVC pipes. So getting over that initial hurdle is like jumping off a cliff, but once you take that dive, it's wonderfully freeing. So I think my first foray into it when I auditioned for Eveline was exhilarating and exciting, and I thought I did horribly.
Really?
And they also had me switch it up and do the other, like the old lady lines at the last minute, which I did not have memorized. So that was terrifying. I mean, exciting. And so I really thought that I had a great time, but it completely bombed. Yeah.
Really?
But I was thoroughly thrilled to get the call on the way home that I indeed hadn't. So I got to come back and play with everybody for a lovely year on that one. And then, what a gift to come back again for this next one and to do the kind of theater style auditions of mixing and matching for the various roles for 8 was so cool because you got to really play with people and
what do you
kind
mean?
of get a taste for the world.
What do you mean by that?
So theater auditions are often where you'll mix and match cast to see like, who might be a good sibling? Oh, no, you two read. Oh, no, maybe you're the mother.
Okay.
No, not you. You, how about you? And I get to have that experience with the new adventures of Peter and Wendy too, where we tried out the darling siblings as well as with Peter and things. And it was magical. And it really lets you test out the chemistry of everyone. And so we got to do that with this. We all got to go in and read for the Dimitrescu sisters. I don't know why they didn't read me for Lady Dimitrescu.
Hey, you never know. You never
Weird.
know. In an alternate universe, she might be.
Yeah, they're like, maybe we put the camera way down here. But it was so fun. You got to play all these various different characters and play with different energies and different actors, and they were all so flippin' talented. I mean, some from 7 that were returning that I got to see again. Some I'd worked with on other projects. And some that I was just excited to work with that maybe might have known from other things. So it was a real joy to go through that for a day or two and try on different skins, as it were. And then to ultimately get the call. And if I remember correctly, I think I read they were having at the time you read for both Donna and Angie, as if it was just sort of a split personality thing. And then after a while, they were like, no, maybe Angie won't be vocalized. I don't know, just read Donna. And I feel like I didn't do too much as Angie until maybe a later audition. And they were like, just go crazy. Let's just see what you got with just being a doll.
Right.
And I thought it might have been just an exercise of, I don't know, stretching, being fun. Because Steve is an amazing director. But yeah, it was thrilling to get to come back and play that.
So did you do motion capture in 7?
I did. Yeah, I did a bit as Eveline, and then, I mean, I'd done it in various other things as well, often as a child.
Hey, it's work. You know what I mean?
It is. I did the Apex Legends short film that came out where I was a young Valkyrie. That was pretty rad for the motion capture for that. So, if I can just corner this market of being kids without having, the legal implications and drama of children, I'll take it. Well, we'll be fine.
Hey, that's dead set. That's a good niche to carve out.
Right? Oh, man. It would have embarrassed 13-year-old me so much. And yet adult me is like, cool. Yeah, it was really quite an adventure and continues to be.
And so 7 wasn't your first motion performance capture?
No, I'd met I'd met America years before that, but I'd worked with America prior to that doing some motion capture for some Barbie shows.
Motion capture for Barbie?
Yes,
Really?
The Barbie vlog and some others. Those are all motion captured.
Wow.
And for years, I had played Skipper and Stacy on Barbie Life in the Dream House. So I have an ongoing relationship with Mattel. We got to do lots of fun playing with them. But yeah, they do motion capture for that, which is pretty cool.
Did you ever think you'd be in Barbie? I mean, that is crazy.
Oh gosh, no. I remember at the time when I booked the sisters. Oh, that was rad. It was really, really cool. experience to play in, and it was like a 6-season run. That was really fun. And my husband got to play, he was Ryan in the series and got to befriend all the people in that. So, I mean, a little different than Eveline and Angie, but a lot of fun. And I mean, there's so many, technology is amazing, man. They, go science. But even doing like performance capture for The Evil Within too, I did Mira's performance capture, which is a weird niche of the business where you're lip syncing to another voice actor, and they already have the motion capture, but they don't have the performance capture of the face, and my face moves a lot. So I was lip syncing and doing the facial performance.
That is weird.
For that. Yeah, but they have a number of times I've done that sort of work where you're making sure the lips sync and the.
So with Resident Evil 8, do you think Donna and Angie were supposed to be one at some point? Was that written in? Do you remember?
I don't remember. I think they were kind of, they had a clear vision. So the people on the other side of the table, they knew what they were doing for sure.
Yeah.
But they were holding it sort of close to the vest while trying out things that could bring that vision across clearly. From what I gathered. So yeah, they were exploring the thought of having the same actor play both. But because of her special powers, I think they found that it was best to have two different ones.
Yeah.
Play it for really clear differentiation, which I think turned out pretty darn
I think
cool.
it worked really well. The contrast as well.
Indeed. I loved when we were doing the motion capture, because Angie is a different scale than everybody, and yet I was there with them. It was really cool to see how they did it with everything. And you can see in some of the behind the scenes footage they've released with, like, as I'm hopping upstairs, somebody without the dots is handing Andy Norris, who plays Donna, this like little PVC version of me where she can like play with it, and they can shrink me down and pop me in there afterwards. It's cool. It's so wild and fun, and it's engineering and math and all of these things combined. So,
but you and Jesse, in particular, in that meeting scene, really have to go for it. You know what I mean? Like,
man, I love how much he commits, man. It was so cool.
You.
He's like slobbering and drooling as he comes up.
I know.
And I'm like, okay, we're doing it. Let's do this.
Yeah, I uploaded the behind the scenes, and the comments are like, how are these guys not laughing? Because it really is crazy. The characters are so out of this world. You know what I
mean? we often laugh the first take in rehearsals, and then there's just this sort of magic moment where everybody levels up, and because everybody's bringing their A game, it lifts everyone else up. And you do not want to be the person to have to like scratch everything and start over and get everybody back to one. So you just do it.
Yeah.
And you commit, and it's so cool. It really does start to kind of play out in your mind, and then to see it come to life with what they did digitally is cool. It's really cool. I mean, especially if you're seeing kind of the really early animatics when you're doing the blocking, and you're like, how is that going to work? And then you see the final product, and it's just like, oh, amazing. These people are wizards. I think they actually might be actual wizards.
Aren't they incredible? Kudos to all the developers. Did you know what Angie or Eveline looked like in Resi 8? You did before it was...
In 7, I was given a picture of a little girl before I knew it was Resident Evil, but I knew she was resembling the Ring, sort of dark and dreary child. And they weren't entirely sure which accent to go with, so I had a couple we played with for that one, for the audition, I remember. And then for Angie, they had did they have a basic sketch? I don't think I saw auditioning a sketch. I think they might have had a very basic one. And then we really were shown the actual versions by the time it came to adding your voice to it. So you could kind of match the character and make sure that it was clearly within you and living. And again, Steve is fantastic at directing that and tweaking that and finding the right balance for each and every character. It was really fun.
So
And what voices? Oh my gosh! Some of those voices just blow me away hearing them every time. I'm like, oh, read me bedtime stories.
so in the audition, there was no Australian accent for Eveline.
You know what? I think they're waiting for the next. Yeah, we should actually audition together. There was. I didn't have an Australian one. They did like occasion.
Really? I'm so shocked.
No, Australian is a tricky one for me too. I'm kind of glad they didn't, because when I lived in London, I lived around a bunch of Australians, and so my London initially got very mixed up with Australian. Would do it, and people were like, what are you trying to say? Finally, I was able to kind of get very, very Brit-tastic down, and then and still, other than doing a lot of ending ups with the questions, Australian can throw me for a loop. I can.
Oh,
You got a little magical sound to you.
Gabe here has a question. What did Donna and Angie do in their mansion all day? Like, do they spend their time making dolls or infecting villagers or what? That's from Gabe.
No, it depends on the day. We have a strict schedule. This will all have to be imagination on my part or conjecture.
Yeah.
But I would imagine, in putting together bits what I've seen in the game, it looks like she got a little bit into horticulture on the side to plant that particular yellow flower. And was happily surprised with the results. She has gotten thoroughly into doll making after the demise of her parents. That's Donna. And although there is only, of course, one, true doll that holds her heart and gets to have all the place settings with her, with the tea.
Did you go? Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, but I imagine there's quite a lot of doll. Doll making is hard. Takes some time, and they don't spend their time dusting, clearly. But yeah, look, baby monsters take a lot of time too to grow. So there's tons to choose from.
Are you gonna get your own little Angie doll for around the house?
Well, I just might. I sure hope Funko works on one, because that would be amazing. I keep hinting. Funko, seriously.
They need to. Seriously, this is a joke now.
And my dad is a bit of an artist as well, so I would be lying if I didn't say that I hadn't maybe found a couple like blank doll bodies and asked him if he could possibly paint them.
Nice.
And what would be entailed, and looked into how I might make matching dresses. But then also,
Awesome.
I am a parent with two small boys who, how to put this, would probably destroy it rather quickly. So, we'll see.
That'd be cool, because you could cosplay as Donna, and then you could be holding the doll and do the voice. Like, that is a viral video waiting to happen. Paul.
Oh my gosh! Well, watch out, Comic-Con.
Yeah, exactly. So did the voice come? Did you do the Angie voice? Was that the first voice you came up with? The one that ended up in the game? That crazy sort of.
I don't think it was the first one. I think we went through a couple. And again, Steve had a really cool. He was kind of knew what he was looking for, but wanted to hear it. So as soon as I landed on it, he was like, "That one, do that. A little more gravel. Okay, eviler."
Yeah.
And really made sure that I tuned it in each time. So that was pretty great. But she kind of takes over when she dial her in. She's like, "Let's play."
I know. By the way, guys, make sure you follow Paul on Instagram and Twitter. I've just popped it in the chat. Paula _Rhodes. Is that right?
I know, I'm really creative. We're just old. I'm of the generation where we actually had our names available still on all of the emails and social media, so we just took them. And then, I don't write things I would be embarrassed about, I guess, online, and they could it could be attached to my real name. Here's a thought, guys. Maybe don't write mean things. There's a good one to grow on. That's your immortality right there.
Ray Carl says, fantastic show. Thank you, Ray. Appreciate that. Eddie says, question, where did the inspiration for Donna and Angie come from? Was there another doll or character you thought of when performing the character? That's from Eddie. Thank you, Eddie.
Oh, did I think of? I mean, I have certainly seen creepy dolls. I mean, have you been to antique stores? Oh my goodness. I wouldn't say there's a particular one. I know that both Capcom and Steve had very clear ideas. So they were great at kind of making sure that I landed in the right spot. And granted, I've seen the creepy dolls and I have probably absorbed some part of them to be able to do some of that. But no, it wasn't based on any particular sound that I was copying for this one. She kind of had.
I don't think it is either. I've never heard anything like this.
They were like, we're gonna just add like a dash of Chucky there, and then we're just gonna take. Oh no, a little too much. Take that out. Yeah, they just we played as we went, which is the lovely part of this particular artistry, is that there's a lot of playing.
Is that all your natural? Have you heard your cutscenes and stuff in the game? Is it all your natural voice? Are there any filters or anything? Do you know?
I don't think there's filters. I've heard quite a bit
of
mine. Thank you, fans, for cutting together that. I have also heard my amazing music videos. 2 or 3 of those have come out. Dang.
That was funny. I did see that.
They're
actually
amazing. Oh gosh, I wish I could sing. Anywho, so when I'm not a rapper, yeah, I think that's me.
Wow.
I have a lot of texture anyway, and it's high enough that it's not a huge leap, but it's, I do remember after a couple sessions, if there was extensive screaming, being like, I can't talk anymore. So you can fry yourself out thoroughly with some of those.
So is that voice something you can turn on? Do you have to warm up to it or what?
Oh, I can jump into it, but it helps, especially if they have reference. So once we found it, they'd have that recorded, and same as any show, I suppose, or game, they'll play that reference back for you for the next session, so you can really dial it in and copy it and then jump in. So it's kind of cool. It's a weird muscle. I imagine probably everybody has it. Once you work it out enough, it just kind of works. But hearing your own voice back, doing a certain style, you are able to kind of lock onto it and get back into it pretty quickly.
Does it help that you were also like the motion capture, like moving the body? Like, did that help you get into it a bit more?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. And those motion capture scenes, we were recording the voiceover at the same time. So that really adds to that brings it to life, right? Anytime your body's in it as well, as opposed to if you're just static in a booth, which most of us are not static in a booth. We move a lot. But it always it levels it up. It always adds something to it, right? And you get that beautiful sound quality of being in an open space. But you have to be able to match that when you're then, in future scenes. So while we had some delicious scenes we were able to do together in motion capture, I would say probably a good chunk of it still was just voiceover and ADR afterwards, after they've actually animated
Especially
it.
for you, I would have thought so as well. Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, all of the chase scene, hide and seek scene for me I was doing it, not motion capture, but voiceover.
Yeah. Our scene, Giovanna, I think I'm terrible with names. So
this is like a fun game, right? Guessing the names correctly.
Oh, I'm so bad. So I'm sorry, guys. You are so good as Eveline. You gave me nightmares. Thanks, Paula.
Oh, thank you, I think. I don't know why. She just wants a family, you guys. Jeez. Yeah, all villains are really only scary if they think they're not villains.
Hey, I like that. Goku Neku says, Donna is love and life itself, and Angie is a ray of sunshine.
Oh, I think you're able to Andy. That's yeah, she has another character who's experienced loss and doesn't see herself as a villain. I mean, well, Angie is a unique beast, being a non-human, but sort of an element of a human. Oh, there's a squirrel outside. Hi, squirrel. So yeah, you have to come at it with at least a pinch of humanity to make it relatable, at least in my experience, and think that your character's in the right, because it's always more interesting to be doing horrible things when you think they're the right thing than to be mustache twisting. although there's some element to still enjoying the bad thing for sure. They can make it twisted and awfully fun. But oh man, villains are wild.
Do you do a lot of villain work?
I've done some.
Yeah.
But mostly in cartoons and in these games. I mean, I do a lot of cute characters.
Yeah, you do.
Otherwise,
yeah, that's what I mean. That's why I said it must be fun to do some villains here and there.
it is.
Yeah.
I hope that I think I'm just gonna go eventually like just a full little old lady. Like I'll just hopefully skip the large chunk of the end of middle age and just go like, okay, and now I'm full gray, all wrinkles, all little old ladies horror films. Let's just do it. I'll just Jessica Tandy this for the Oscar stuff. And no, I'm kidding. But yeah, I guess that's my lot in life, right? Like I've got kids at one end and then little old ladies, but small women is a tougher one to fit. So we'll just go from one extreme to the other. It'll be great.
So Donna and Angie, do you think, because Donna wears all black and Angie's in a wedding dress, is that supposed to signify like life and death, or am I looking into it too much?
Quite a bit. There is very little of this game that hasn't been thought out, at least in my experience with these amazing creators. So every detail, every piece of wardrobe, every prop has been, workshopped and debated and tweaked and perfected. So it's really cool to be in something that deep. So yes, I took from it personally that there's a little bit of, I have to be her light because her personal life has been so dark in the past. And so she's any little bit of her that's left to be happy, she allows it only through Angie. And, which is terribly freeing as the Angie character. But at the same time, there's also a little bit of a dichotomy to that because while Donna's allowed to be aloof and not have to necessarily get her hands dirty, Angie's doing this horrible stuff, right? Which is sort of also beautiful. I'm sure there's tons of characters and or real life, I'm not even sure, that they based it on as well. I've heard different fan theories online that are fascinating, and I love that you all have brains that come up with this and research it. So I'm along for the journey too. I'm learning as I go too, other than what I knew going in. It's fun to discover it and put the pieces together of the puzzle.
There is some really cool theories out there. I'm actually going to make a video on it too. So guys, Stay tuned for it. Drive-by commentator says he's awake. The perfect family morning alarm.
Oh my gosh, somebody set that as your alarm. I should do that to my kids. No, I'm kidding. They wake me up. Let's be honest. They're like 5 and 3, so they just come in.
Yeah, they're waking you up, hey? People were spamming that in the chat, and I thought, I forgot what it was.
Oh, he's awake. Yeah.
I completely forgot, but yeah, that's classic. Daniel,
like the butt wiggle. It's funny.
Daniel, you have an incredible voice. Just curious, have you played the game, Paula? I am a non-gifted game player who is quite aware of her own ability to become addicted to games. There was a time that look, obviously I wanted to grow up and be an elf. I think I mentioned something about that earlier. So when I first was a grown-up and could decide for myself, I played Baldur's Gate once, and I couldn't stop for like 3 days until I beat it. So I realized there was a potential for a problem here, and I would like to have a real life. So I gently stepped away from most gaming, other than occasional holidays or watching with friends or streamers. So it's self-preservation, but I have watched people play it, and I have I think a friend of mine, Dan Hutton, is doing a stream. I'm going to come watch her. I know Nicole Tompkins does amazing streams. I'm going to jump on with her when she plays some of this. So I love watching people play it. I love being in these fantasy worlds that they've created. I just know that I have to give myself an out so that I go back to real life. Yeah. And you got 2 young kids. I mean, it's not practical.
Yeah, they seem to want to be fed. It's weird.
Yeah. Oh, far out. So you've seen your work. You have seen your work. It's you're not going out and playing by yourself every day. Desmond Miles here says, "Hi Paula.
Hi.
How come you weren't in the game as much as other characters? It felt your story was a little shorter.
Oh, I physically am shorter. Is probably. I killed someone at Capcom and made them angry. I don't know. I don't know. They're gonna do a spin-off game. I would love that. Can I pitch that to them? I have no idea. They made exactly the right amount for the story that they had, and I know that they always have the opportunity to build out in depth or explore things. But I was just thrilled to be a part of it in general and to play where I was able to. And it felt like a lot to me because I was able to be Angie and Eveline. I did a little girl on the bus at the end.
You did too.
So it was lovely to be a part of all of these different scenes and with the other actors. So I felt thoroughly involved. I'm both surprised and taken aback and in awe that you would have missed any bit of me. But hey, I'm going to keep working. So hopefully I'll be back in some capacity.
Is that mocap at the end of the little girl? It is, yeah.
Yes, yeah. We did that on a prop bus that they build, and it was cool. It was fun with Sarah Coates as my mom. She is the perma mom. She's mom for everything. So, and I'll be kids for everything. It'll be great.
She was obviously part of the Baker family in the last game. For those who don't know,
Marguerite.
That's it.
So I think if she could just nail down the whole all of the moms in video games, that'd be great. And then I'll do
and you're the kids,
90-year-old women still being mom and daughter. It'll be great.
You're the team up.
I would work with her forever if I could.
Eddie here says, if I ever have a coma, the first thing I want to hear when I wake up is "He's awake."
We could try that theory. Should we just send it over to some hospitals and see if it works? But that's lovely. I think. You can at least smile when you wake up.
Canna says your performance was wonderful, Paula. Epitomizes exactly why I loathe dolls.
Sorry, not sorry.
You would have heard that this section in the game is by far the creepiest. You would have heard that, or you would have seen that in reviews and being tagged and stuff, haven't you?
Gotten a bit of that, yeah. It has a different feel to it than some of the other segments, and really takes its time and has an entirely different atmosphere, and I love that.
Now, do you know about the baby monster?
I do.
Seen it?
Yes.
So did you know about that?
I'm not sure exactly how they did the sounds, but I think they had us all try baby sounds. It's possible that some amalgamation of all of us, which in my head, it sounds about right.
Yeah, because they wouldn't have got just a normal kid to go in for that, no? I mean,
no, adults can... Certain adults have that as a special skill, as doing baby sounds.
Yeah, you could do that easy. Yeah.
No, we don't actually take children like wee ones and poke them or something.
No, exactly.
Oh gosh, how awful would that be? Just make a baby cry. Oh my gosh, we have some soul.
Yeah, that's not what I meant.
But I am aware of that. That's a creepy little creature they've come up with. That is, whew.
Yeah. So did you know about that before the game was out?
I knew there. It's hard to answer. I think I knew about it. I didn't know where it went, and I didn't know how everything fit together. Because when you're recording, you're doing it out of order. You're doing, piecemeal with months in between sometimes, and you're never given the entire script or even how this works in a playthrough. So your mind is kind of puzzling it out and being like, okay, so I think maybe this is happening, and then this will happen, and maybe over here we did that might happen sometime around then, but it's guessing. So we're just as happily surprised as the fans are when it comes out. So I knew there was a baby, but I also knew there was a baby Rose. So any number of awful things could have happened in my head. I was like, well, that's terrifying. I'm just going to not go there and be surprised.
So you could be the voice of baby.
There might be some of me in there. I mean, we definitely tried some cries. I'm not sure. That sounded like it did have some filters and things and different cool effects.
Yeah, it did have filters. I think it
sound
could be
design
you.
galore, man.
I
That's
really
awesome.
think it could be you, Paula.
It might have some.
Yeah.
It might be. I really feel like it's a mix. Hearing it just once or twice, like it sounded like it was a couple. So I don't know.
'Cause I know
But it is not a real baby that was like shaken. It was no babies were abused in the making of this.
Okay, that's good to know. Jason says, "Do you feel bad for Ethan?" Thank you, Jason.
For Ethan, it's hard to split Ethan and Todd in my head.
You don't feel sorry for
But
Todd.
I don't feel sorry for Todd.
Nah.
He's awesome. He's fat. He's good. I miss Todd. Do I feel sorry for Ethan? Yes, on some level. When I was given the scene for the end, which if someone hasn't played, I guess spoilers, earmuffs, guys. Where the reveal happens of he's been going through for the last 3 years, and that Evie's known. That was an eye opener, and while I felt like a smidge, maybe just a pinch of poor Ethan, I would say maybe awfully and selfishly, there was a part of me, just the Evie part, that was like, well, good, got my family.
Unused lines that you recorded that didn't make the final cut. There always is, isn't
Probably. Oh yeah, probably. There's like a lovely hard drive just full of screams. And
I'd love
phrases.
to get a hold of that hard drive.
I'm positive I don't remember any of them because, like I said, even some of the ones that made it into the game, when I hear them, I'm like, did I say that? Oh yeah, I guess I said that. Because it's, months to years ago, and you've said a bajillion lines as other characters since. But it is, some stick with you. Others don't.
Yeah.
But I'm sure maybe you can write them. Be like, deleted scenes, please.
That'd be cool. Modern Yin says, the laugh reminds me a bit of Chucky. Was that your inspiration? Well, we mentioned that earlier. A little bit of Chucky sprinkled
Like a pinch. I mean, definitely there's there's a handful of, iconic laughs if you're going like Maleficent to the stuff, or that like if you're getting really into more evil, littler things, that, laughs that just automatically say evil. So we played with all those. And when I just locked upon the right one, that's when Steve was like, yes, that's what we want. Let's do that. And we repeated it.
Yeah. Everyone is asking, can you say he's awake?
He's awake.
Oh my God.
Yes, I can.
Oh, that laugh. How do you do that, Paula? Oh my God, I'm actually creeped out.
Oh my gosh. I'm also fluffy, small, cute characters. And
can you do a cute one, please? So I feel a bit happier.
a lot of times I do little cute characters and animals or little bitty.
I feel so much warmer.
We read stories.
Chirogenic says, does Angie have her own mind or thoughts, or is she just a vessel for Donna to speak through? What are your thoughts on it? Thank you so much.
Are you asking Angie or Donna? Because we might have different answers. I would say, and this is again just kind of guessing off what I know and was directed as, she is an element of Donna. So a entire vertical strip of Donna's personality just moved to the doll, to this vessel. However, operating in herself, she would claim it all as her own.
Okay. Yeah.
It was how I approached the character anyway. Well, almost like a weird sort of twin where you differ slightly and you're in agreement, but you're separate in your own. I don't know if that makes any sense.
No, it does.
Yes, both, all.
Urchin, will they ever do a dub for the Japanese puppet ads in English? I got a real laugh out of it.
Can we? Let's just jump in my booth and do that right now. that it was hilarious.
It was good,
I
wasn't it?
want that puppet. It's amazing. Yeah, if we can just like somebody get on Etsy, commission those, we'll do them. I'll sign them. We'll make $1 bajillion. It'll be great. I hope so. I'm game.
People are very impressed with the contrast between the two voices you just did before. They can't believe you can just have that range. So,
Oh, thank you.
Ethan,
I mean, it's
go ahead.
that's
Sorry.
just one accent. It is weird. I mean, this business is, as any artist knows, and even just yourself being a storyteller on that end, it's a weird roller coaster ride of that constant, like, I'm the best, I'm the worst, I can do nothing. So you have to kind of keep coasting, knowing that you'll get back to being validated with the job, to creating again every time you hit some sort of roadblock, which we all hit. So there are a billion times in my life that I hit that, like, I can only do one sound. What is wrong with me? Who would hire me? And then a billion others where I'm like, I can do all of the sounds. So it's such a weird life, but I love it. I wouldn't trade it.
What does your husband and I guess kids are a bit young, but what does your husband think of your job? Because he's an actor,
is
isn't
a terribly supportive human. I met him when he was plotting my murder on a horror film. He's also an actor.
Yeah.
His name's Charlie Bowden. It was a George Romero's son's first film, Cameron Romero,
Nice.
called Staunton Hill. I don't make it to any sequels if there ever were any. So he, being both actors, he's very supportive. We do a lot of like, I gotta self-tape tonight. We'll come out here, tape it when the kids are sleeping, or amuse with a movie. So it's a wonderful partnership, and I couldn't do what I do without him. Terribly talented human. He's sold you hundreds of goods on commercials and been on all your favorite shows, probably. But I think he probably is a little bit surprised each time he hears some of the various sounds that come out of the booth on occasion. I'm like, listen to this. Is this good? And you're like, that's you? That's weird. But he's very, very good sounding block to be like, no, do it again. Or that's good.
Is he allowed in the booth, or is that your space?
He's welcome into it. He doesn't do a lot of voiceover anymore. He did Barbie and hasn't done too much since. I think voiceover is a tough
competitive, isn't it?
It's very, very supportive in the community, but it is a weirdly isolating competitive in that you're doing so many more auditions, which is great and fun and exercise, but you don't know if you're hitting unless you're getting a booking for the most part. There's some callbacks and redirects, but a lot of times you're just throwing darts in the dark and you're not sure if you're like way off mark or if you were like the runner-up. So I think that frustrated him. And in on-camera auditioning, you get a lot of feedback. You know, if you have the callback or if you're on a veil, that you are like right in there and you're still doing good. And he gets a lot of those. So for him, the like constant auditioning, he was like, I don't think this is for me right now. And for me, I'm like, I want to try more voices.
It's full on, yeah.
So it's lovely. We found kind of our groove in where we're fitting right now in our careers.
That's amazing.
And they always change, but
that's awesome.
very thankful.
The Pie is a Lie. What are your thoughts on the fact that many people love the characters in Resi 8 and they're cute, likable, whatever, but they're supposed to be monsters and villains? Do you know what I mean? Like,
well, you know, that might say something about society. No, I'm kidding. You know, it's a type of storytelling, having the ambiguous protagonist, antagonist. FX made a whole, channel on it, basically, of having these villains or antagonists that are oddly likable and the protagonist. Anti-heroes, sort of. I think it was a wise choice in that you're already going to go in kind of liking Ethan, right? You've already been attached to him through a previous game. So playing with those emotions of finding yourself drawn to the villains, it's fun. You know, this what's great about fantasy and sci-fi and horror and all of these things is that they can get us to examine real life issues and questions that might be uncomfortable for us to look at as just us. But through the lens of fantasy, of horror, all of this stuff, you can actually get close to it and really look at it and examine it and grow your empathy, which I think is the goal of a lot of storytelling. So although that may not seem like the natural fit for where Resident Evil as a brand is aiming its audience, I feel like there's something there that they might be doing. And I find that a lot of responsible storytellers are doing these days, where they're helping to try to grow empathy. You change hearts by changing mind, or change minds by changing hearts. So, I mean, you look at the issues that they have that make them villains, and in this, a lot of times are a core wound, kind of, that is relatable, whether it's the loss of parents, or the lack of a family, or needing that validation of a mother. Those are universal things that we all can kind of latch into, which is why we do with these particular villains. So it's smart. It's smart.
What were your thoughts on Lady D and the fan reaction to that character?
I mean, how could you not be in love with Maggie the Bard? Oh, golly.
Crazy,
what an
isn't it?
Intriguing and fascinating character, right? Like,
Yeah.
She was amazing as soon as they teased it. Even just auditioning for her, I was like, did I hear that? We're like, she's tall, like 5'9", and they're like, I'm tall. I was like, I can wear heels, guys. And they're like,
You might need stilts.
Oh, fascinating, lovely tropes, lots of fun things they're tapping into there. There were some that I questioned their natural draw to her. You know who you are. As a mother, I'm looking at you. But we all got to work through our issues, and if it takes a fantasy horror character for you to recognize yours, then let's do the work, guys.
Is she your favorite of the other three lords?
Oh gosh,
I'm making you pick.
There's four, right? Or there?
Yeah, I mean you're one, so
I don't
we
get
can't
to
pick.
choose myself.
Yeah, you can't choose yourself.
Okay, fair. Oh golly, it's tough. I mean, you're naturally drawn to her. Who can't be?
Yeah, Neil said her.
I mean,
when
golly,
I had him
I
on.
feel a little bit like, I feel bad because Neil as a human and as an actor is like, oh my God, amazing. But, and as is Jesse, as is Maggie. But Moreau has this weird, oh gosh, you just want to fix him. Just this Quasimodo sort of like, your
Feel
heart
sorry
breaks a
for
little
him?
bit. Yeah. Favorite's a tough one, guys. You know what we're going to have to do is a battle to the death. And then I can answer that for you.
Do you think Angie wins out of the four in a battle to the death?
Oh, I'm back in the battle. Oh, okay. Well, she doesn't have blood, so she's pretty safe from Lady D. It's a matter, and speed can beat big things before. I think I got her. Liking her problem. They like
might
bones
stand a
and they have
chance.
some kind of bony. I will say, I probably make it to the final two.
Yeah, you'll make it to the final.
So it's a maybe. It's a close call. We'll see.
Ethan here says, "How's Beneviento? Scared the living shit out of me. You guys did a great job."
Oh, thank you.
Gabrielle, Paula, thank you for being in Resident Evil 8. Amazing job.
Thanks for having me, and thank you.
Bishul says, "Are you able to say fight, fight, fight?"
Oh, as Angie shared, let's see. Fight.
Oh, that's never going to get old. That I still can't get over that meeting scene, the behind the scenes of that. Like, it's crazy.
It was fun. It was a really high cardio day for me because then I changed up theirs to be more proportionate for what Angie was dealing with, and I was trying to jump up those as well for them. That was gotta work out.
Was that your first day on the set?
This one, golly, I think it was.
Like,
Gosh,
were you
it's
still
been a minute.
nervous?
I don't
Are you
remember
still
for sure.
nervous for that sort of stuff? Or are you a bit more seasoned now?
I'm not nervous once I book it. Once I book it, it's
Ah.
just fun. It's just playing. It's great because you kind of know, like, oh, they want this. Let's do it. Auditions can still rattle me sometimes. It depends on the audition and who you're auditioning for, and probably it's not a great sign if I am terribly rattled from me booking it. But no, the being on set part is pure joy because look, it's such a small part of our job. So much of our job is auditioning and getting rejected that feels like the bulk of it, and your reward is when you actually book it and get to be on set and get to play and do what you do.
Yep. Cryogenic Remix, thank you so much, mate, for becoming a member. Mean Urchin, what's Angie's relationship to her father, or Angie and Donna? That's from Urchin.
You know, they didn't go into it too much with me. I'm sure they figured it out. It does look like she had a very good relationship, like that Donna did, with her parents, because she keenly feels their loss, right? So, although depending on the age of a child, it wouldn't even matter. Just the loss of parents still leaves that big hole, right? You're always kind of trying to fill it some other way. So I imagine it was probably pretty good. So what do you guys think? Have you put together any clues? Share them with me. I don't know. I haven't played the whole thing, so.
Shane, hey, Paul, I was in the Nicole Tompkins stream when you said you kissed
awesome.
Matthew McConaughey after I asked if you or Katie had ever been to Ireland. What's this story? Now you got to tell me.
Yes. So I studied abroad in London. It was lovely. And for St. Patrick's Day in college, I took a very cheap EasyJet, I think at the time, flight over to Dublin and spent it with some friends there. We all went for St. Paddy's Day, very stereotypical fun. And it's a crowded place that particular day. I lost my friends. There might have been some imbibing involved. And I found myself in a very crowded pub next to some people playing bongos, you know, like you do. And one of them happened to be Matthew McConaughey, who was there filming the Dragon movie at the time. And so, of course, once I realized who it was, I was like, I'm never moving from the spot. And continued to try to insert myself in the conversation. I think another guy was from Montana, and I was like, I was born in Montana. Hi. I don't know. And then I realized I had to go to try to find my friends and or a bathroom. And I said goodbye to my new best friends, and turned, and I just gave him a little peck before I went, and then beamed away, and then turned around and took a picture of it to prove it to my friends. But it was one of those like cameras. I had to like rush out to find somewhere to develop it in an hour. Oh, I'm really showing my age. It's fine. And to prove this had happened, because by the time I got back to our hostel that we were staying at and showed them, none of them believed me until I had the photo. And I think even Sarah was like, prove it or it didn't happen. And I went through and dug out the photo. It was like,
so you've still got it? Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I still have that photo. Eventually, when Matthew's like governor of Texas or something, I'll
I
see.
know, yeah. Is that the early 2000s? That would have been, or what?
Probably math is hard. Let's stop that.
Let's leave it. Yeah.
Could be anytime. I'm also a vampire, so it's been so long.
Yeah, you don't age. By the looks of it, you're not a day over 30. Paula, question here. Will you be in Resident Evil 9?
Everybody tagging Matthew McConaughey, though, just so that he can, we could, honey, Charlie, turn this off if you're watching. No, I'm kidding.
Will you be in Resident Evil 9 is a question. Obviously, you can't say anything, and even if you were, but
if they want me to,
yeah,
hey,
where do you think?
you know my number.
Can Eveline get into that store? I guess I don't know.
I'm sure she could. I mean, the mold has not been wiped off the face of the earth, has it? Umbrella's still around. I mean, is Ethan even dead? I mean, maybe. Does mold blow up? Don't know. Obviously, some part of Eveline still made it through, into this years later. So I'm game if they are.
I think Ethan's alive.
I think it's possible. It's very possible. I probably just like, who would want to get rid of Todd? He's so freaking cool to work with.
Is he? Yeah, you would have had a
He is
few. Well, I guess. Did you have any scenes with him in this one?
A couple, yeah. Well, he was actually laying there as we're, he's awake, all that stuff.
He was too. Yeah.
And then in the reveal scene was mid-COVID, so that was tricky to film. But the beautiful thing about motion capture is you can film it with a lot of social distance, so we can be far, far away and be a safe distance. And again, the producers go above and beyond, where they had like certain hallways you could only go one way down, all sorts of safety checks and temperature checks and testing and gloves and your own bin full of stuff. It was amazing. We were working in like a lockdown hospital practically, but you're able to shoot with the distance, one person without a mask at a time. We were able to have the amazing Capcom team who was like really doing overtime. I mean, they're in Japan, so much like yourself, big time difference, just in the middle of the dang night working hard. And they're able to come over with like, iPads and direct the robots on iPads directing us. So again, saved by science.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, had you done that before? Had you had to, because obviously Capcom are from, the head office is in Japan for this game. I believe it's developed in Japan, yeah? So when you're in the booth doing this crazy character and you've got the consultants from Japan, had you done anything like that before? Or what?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
Japan makes so many amazing games.
It's not new to you, is it? Yeah.
I was part of the, Final Fantasy Type 0. 2 was also, had a lot of the team being overseas, or some in the booth on the other side of the glass and some just in your ear. Tuning in. So, there's so many amazing translators. We, for the most part, have this. Every now and then, not in Resident Evil, that team is like, they've got this down. Other games, sometimes you get a little bit of a translation snafu where your direction might be, a color that you're like, we don't know how to do that. Let's try. But for the most part, it's seamless nowadays. It's a big global party.
Yeah. Justin, Paula, you are such a nice, sweet, and talented person. So glad to have you a part of this community. You're amazing in what you do, as you played Angie and Eveline so well.
Thank you. Day made. Thanks, guys.
Question: given both Eveline and Donna, Angie are kind of tragic characters, does it ever affect you mentally when you're playing them during the stressful moments, like the end of RE7?
Affects me mentally. It affects me emotionally because I do bring up those emotions to portray it, like a sense memory of loss or something. But that's just something in my own instrument that I know how to toggle or play with. After years of doing it. But mentally, do I take it home? I'm never affected and broken by any of it. There's enough distance there that I'm able to still keep my own head about me, I suppose, by the time I leave the stage or the booth. But I mean, as with anybody, my own personal mental health always is getting check-ins and tweaks and attention, because goodness, we have lived through a year, right? I wouldn't say that I'm 100% yet feeling back to Paula after 2020, but that's okay. We have time. Just be gentle with yourselves, guys.
Yeah. So I'll give you a couple more because I know you're a very busy woman, and we really appreciate your time on today.
Oh, thank you.
Any advice for upcoming actors or actresses or voice the whole shebang? Any advice that you would give?
This is such a wonderful time to be a storyteller. So if you feel called to be, you should really feel the empowerment in that, because you have the tools in your dang phone at this point to start, right? Growing up in the 1800s, I had less.
1800s. Come on. No, this is ridiculous.
It's a closer reach for you. You can do this. I would say my biggest piece of advice is don't be too lazy to do the research, because too many are, and that can be your edge. If you can actually get in there and teach yourself where you know your blind spots are. If you're like, well, I don't know much about microphones, and I want to know about that so I can maybe get the best one for my voice. There's a billion videos out there already existing that you can literally just click through, and within a day probably have a pretty good sample of like, oh, I think this would be a good one. This is my budget. If you have questions about getting into acting where you are, in whatever location you're at, or creating your own project, that's all out there too. All that information is at your fingertips. Now you don't even have to go anywhere. So use your time, get yourself that knowledge that fits you, and then tell the story that you feel called to tell. It's such a great time. Being when web series were first being born, I was in that kind of mix of the people that were getting into producing that and using that as a storytelling vehicle and being like, this is so great. We can just tell our tales now if we get 30 people together and a little bit of money. But like, you could do that hopefully to empower you. As an example, I directed my first feature film. I'm just now submitting it to festivals. I just got word the other day.
Congrats.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
That I got into the next round on one. So I'm like, oh, this is even real. But I shot the entire thing over the course of my actual pregnancy with just my husband and I as the entire production crew and the lead cast and, all of the crew. So we're doing like wardrobe stuff. We're doing location scouting. We're doing the lighting. We're doing the sound. I wrote it. We didn't really have a script. I did an outline, and we're just kind of rolling with it as the world changed around us and our pregnancy changed, and improving. And we did it. We told an entire tale that way. You can do this. Okay. So if you feel like there's a story in you or something that you want to explore, listen to that and do it. There's never been an easier time.
So where can people, is there any way people can watch that film that you've done?
Hopefully soon.
Nice.
So just starting to submit it to festivals. Hope to have some cool information this summer to share on that. But you can follow along on Twitter. I made a @delicate_state that I'll be sharing information for. It's us documenting our pregnancy as Paula and Charlie until we start to realize, after ignoring it for long enough, that the U.S. has fallen into civil war, and we have to have a baby in the middle of a situation that women all over the world find themselves in, that would seem so foreign here up until far too recently. It was interesting noticing too much of my film becoming documentary over the last bit.
Yeah, I was going to say, did you fall into that a bit? Yeah.
I fell into the like, gosh darn it, I paid for VFX for that, and I could have gone down the street. Not that I was happy about that. None of that was happy. No. But it was made as a cautionary tale at the time, because even in 2015, when we first started filming it, I was seeing too many people in the media and social media, but media toss around just civil war as a term, like, oh, maybe this will happen. Maybe we'll do this. And I'm like, but you're putting it out there. You're making it like seem appealing. And as anybody with a slightly bigger microphone, the media, social media, anything, I think we have a little bit of a responsibility to steer things a bit. Storytelling is such a powerful medium. Like I said, you change hearts, you change minds. And so if it's being a cautionary tale, if it's showing like how much you actually have to lose by going down a path of war, and I felt uniquely called as a mother to be, and as a woman to highlight that, because I was seeing primarily men really to be like, yeah, let's get our guns and shoot stuff up. And I'm like, yeah, that's fun in video games. You know what it is in real life? Not fun. And I think some people needed a little bit of a reminder of that. So I encourage any of you, if you have stories to tell that can help steer the universe a little bit, steer humanity, like that's the power of storytelling. And I think the next generation younger than us is really going to make some beautiful difference in how they steer things. So do it, guys.
And I can see you're very proud of the film.
Yeah, I am proud of getting it done.
I know, it's a task.
But of being able to do it, and hopefully stand as an example for other people to use their voice.
It's feature film length, did you say?
Feature film, yep.
Wow. So who edited it? Did you guys edit it as well?
No, I hired an editor.
Goodness.
And she's amazing, Rachel Henry. It was a fantastic Oh, she's such a gift. Because anywhere that I had blind spots in my storytelling repertoire, she had the knowledge and stuff to fill that in and suggest things and really make it a film, you know. So, and we had an amazing composer and Rob Goki. We had amazing, just everybody that came together to do this, a colorist and Jared Hoy, just people that I'd worked with before that I knew I could count on and were fantastic humans too. As you go about your storytelling journey, you collect these humans.
I love it. Yeah.
And the Tamir project helped. I mean, it was a village despite being, see what I did there? Despite being just me wearing so many hats with that. So collect your village, guys. I mean, you're part of one here with the Resident Evil community. Within this community, I have no doubt there's some just freaking, you know, award-winning level storytellers.
Oh.
And you can pull from fellows within the community to do that if you feel called.
Beautiful.
I'm doing like a TED Talk, guys.
No, great advice. Do you have any other upcoming projects that you can talk about, or we look forward to seeing you more games soon, or what?
I don't think I can yet. But also I'm excited for just stuff starting to really open back up.
I know.
Get out there and do some more things. So this summer should be exciting. Hopefully some cool stuff with my film to announce and any other things that come up. I know we are plotting some fun little reunions with the RE team just to get together and see each other in person now that we're all getting vaccinated and all and safe, and that just keeps us going. I think some of that human contact after so long without it sounds lovely. So stay tuned. I know a bunch of people are doing really cool signings coming up. You can go to the streamly.com/Resident Evil store, which is just like a hub for all of them. And as we open our stores, they'll all pop up in there, and you can like click on anybody's if you're interested in getting stuff there or getting something signed.
Are you doing one soon?
Yeah, I mean, we just finished one I did with Katie and Sarah, and we're actually in talks to set up another one. It looks like with something really fun. But it looks like June 4th, 5th, 6th, they're kind of percolating some cool ideas. And a lot of people, Nicole has some, and Neil has some, and Maggie has some, and the all Dimitrescu family is going to do one. I mean, it's going to be cool, guys. So check it out.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming on, Paul. I really appreciate it. Is there anything you want to say to the fans while you're here?
Thank you. Thank you for welcoming us and for being so wonderful, and for being so smart and sharing your amazing fan ideas with us. That excites us and energizes us, for interacting, for your fan art, for being, there would be no this without you. So thank you.
And Paula, if you were ever feeling down, come to this video and check the comments and the live chat reply, and you'll feel a lot better from all the positive comments that are coming.
Probably on Tuesday. I'll be talking about.
All right. Yeah. If you're ever feeling down,
thank you so much, guys. Wish me broken legs. I got to go attempt to, I think, sell a hairdryer or something, whatever this commercial is for. Let's check it out.
All right. Thank you so much, Paul. I appreciate it.
You guys.
Take care.
Have a good one.
And there you have it, guys. Paula Rhodes. Mr. Leo Haley. Pick Chickens. Kevin, Genji, Blue Lantern. Pelumbra. Galahad. Who else is in here? The Hunter, Canna, couple of legends. Just Vincent, another legend. The Critic, Hamza, Davis, Lols, Nameless, Jonathan. I missed your question. I'm so sorry, mate. Superfly, baby. How you doing, mate? Josh, great to see you here as well. Nicole Compton's stream with Maggie is being cutting off. Oh, are they live right now, are they? What's going on over there, Josh? Thank you so much for answering our question. Hey, no worries. Who else is in here? Reality Core? Tornado? Dark Kingboy, Cracker Gaming, Jade, Melvin, Hamza, Lols. It's Anthony. They're live on Twitch right now. Hey, guys, should we go over there and give them a bit of a raid? Hold on. I'm going to pull this up. I reckon we go over there and we flood them, say, Dan Allen sent us. What do you reckon? I think Maggie is live right now for the first time with Nicole. So obviously the Danielle Dimitrescu and yeah, let's have a look, shall we, guys? Nicole Tompkins. I'll put it in the chat so we can all join. 1 second here. We're gonna spam the chat, all right? Here we go. They got 1,000 viewers here. All right. All right, guys. We're all gonna come in, and we're gonna spam them in here. All right. Here's the link. Get in there. Get in there, guys. Let's do it.
For Lady D, Maggie, or even Nicole, Daniela, please put them in the chat, and I will try to see them.
So Susie can also see the
them.
message requests as well, and our amazing mod Jen is in there as well with you, Susie, just managing, looking through that as well. So there's a message request section. If you put it in the chat, chat's moving really, really quick. We will do our best to see what we can.
Sure is.
But you're probably more likely to get seen.
The Sphere Hunter's in there as well. She's a legend.
Try to pay attention to that. Speaking of, I have to say a big thank you to
Funzy,
Dino, who gifted 5 subs, and Elephant, who gifted 5 subs, and Sahara, who gifted a sub, and Mick who gifted 3 subs. My gosh, you guys are amazing.
Nicole, we have 575% level 5 hype train in like
just
a minute.
They're getting a lot of love, so you can imagine when I have Maggie on this Saturday. Oh boy, it's going to be massive.
I'm so glad that you are here. You will soon find out that the 3 of us are, like, basically the bestest of friends, and will be. Susie and Maggie are just getting to finally, like, actually meet, but I love both of them so much that this is definitely gonna turn into just hangout time, which makes me really
goobers being goobery goobers together.
Exactly.
It's great.
Looney Dag, thank you so much for gifting 20 subs. This is insanity. 947% level 5 hype.
I came from
You
Dan
guys are
Allen. Who said that?
crazy.
Who said that? I can't even keep up with this chat. I can't imagine on Saturday what it's going to be like, guys. It's going to be insane. I came from Dan. I can't even see. This is crazy. I mean, she usually gets about 300-400 viewers. She's nearly 2,000.
That Maggie is, like, just such a delicious human, but also
this is Lady D, guys, on the left, for anyone coming in. If you can see, that's Lady D on the left there.
like a 9-foot-tall vampire, which not everyone can pull off with the grace and confidence as this woman right here. So
Oh,
I
Lord.
can't wait. My camera's
I'm so uncomfortable.
good. I'm glad. That's how I that's how I like it. I'm gonna
Dan Allen sent me. I can see a few of yous popping in.
My camera's kind of going crazy.
They don't
again.
see it. They
I don't
can't
know
see
why.
it.
It just doesn't like me.
They can't see
I'm
it
gonna turn off
because
my
no
camera
one's.
for a second.
The chat's going too
since
fast.
We are
Exotic
we're
Peaks, thank
approaching
you.
2,000 viewers in the chat right now.
Crazy! Oh my
Holy
gosh!
shit.
So glad to have you all here. Welcome. Where's me? That's me. Turning me off for a second. Maggie, it's
Come
just
on,
you,
they gotta
girl.
mention us.
Just you.
Oh my God, the pressure.
I
I don't know
know.
if I can do this.
I think
Oh,
you can.
God.
I think you were born for it.
I'm being
darling.
called away.
Oh,
Nuka
God.
sent me. Thank you, Nuka.
Shut that
Pokey.
down.
People are going to learn very quickly that I'm actually insane, so
No, it's
batter up. It's going to be great.
The good news is you're in good company because that's all I do is practice insanity here.
I think she's a little bit
Breaking a
nervous.
song, generally
Link
try
her
to
Twitch. Okay, hold
survive
on.
Terrifying.
Here it
things.
is.
There are so many
One
gifted subs
second.
happening right now, guys. I will try to get through and thank all of you.
Actually,
Get in,
insane.
guys.
But it's
Dan sent you.
Pretty
Dan
overwhelming.
sent you.
The gratitude is unreal. Okay, I can turn
Insane
you
in
back
the membrane. This chat is popping off.
It's popping. It is
I
popping.
can't even read
Yeah,
things because it's
no.
going by
We've
so
really helped
quickly.
this chat,
Hi,
guys.
guys.
I feel like
We have helped this chat
before
pop
we
off.
jump in, no, I think we should just jump in. I think we're just gonna jump in and see how it goes.
Marius, thank you.
Maggie,
That-
my doll, my mother.
Who's that?
Funzy.
Funzy?
I
Oh my
just
goodness.
did the boss section
This
where
is
you
insane.
and Heisenberg were fighting. McGoslin,
Yes.
oh my god, thank you for all those gifted subs. Josh Jake
Holy
Wright,
shit.
I see you. It's insane. 50 gifted subs, McGoslin! Oh my gosh. Wow, you guys are crazy. It's crazy.
Maybe I
Josh,
should
thank
donate.
you. Freya, thank you. I see some donations. I will get there. Jack, I see you. Thank you so much for the amazing art. Petrichor Crown, everyone, has done all of the banner art for this series, which
It
is
is
really, really
popping
Big
off.
shout out to Jack.
big shout out to Jack.
Popping off.
So anyway, you were just fighting with Neil Newbon as Heisenberg, and putting him down like the little brother that he is, and then I'm running away from him currently from that scene. We run away. He's now
Should I
got me in,
donate?
like a grinder room of terror that I have yet to survive because I died 3 times and decided that was a good place to end the stream last week.
I think
So
we
this
added
is
about
where
700.
die, and let's
When
hope
I
that
joined, it
saves
was at 1100. It's now nearly 2000.
auto save. It should be the auto, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, do you guys think I should get one of these two on to play the game through with me? Do you reckon that'd be cool? We're watching the stream with Dan Allen. Yes.
Have a wonderful stream. Thank you, Nicole. Great to have you here, Maggie, as well as you, Susie. I'm overwhelmed.
Thanks, guys.
Come on, guys, get in there. Get in there.
Insane. All right, F to continue.
Superfly, why not?
I'm
I know.
Yeah,
Hey?
run for your life.
Run, 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 run. Ah! Maggie and Susie, can you hear it?
Yes.
All right. That's interesting. No, we're going to have now, guys, I said there's going to be an announcement. Who's my guest that I've got coming on? We've wrangled behind the scenes. We've wrangled and wrangled. No, it's not Todd Soley, Ethan Winters. I'm still working on that. But who's the other big boy in Resident Evil 8? Chris Redfield. Jeff Shine is coming on, guys. And he's coming on this Friday, 3 p.m. PST. I'll hope you join me for that one. That's going to be a banger. First ever interview with Jeff about his character, Chris Redfield, Jeff Shine. That's happening Friday. So tomorrow, Mia Winters, Katie O'Hagan. The following day, Jeff Shine, Chris Redfield. And then the next day, Lady D. I mean, come on, guys. I'll look after you. The following Monday or Tuesday? The following Monday, Nicole, who you just saw then, is coming on as well. We've also got Helena, who is the facial capture for Lady D. So let me bring up her Instagram, guys, just so you can get a taste. She's going to do her first interview as well. God, voice crack. Helena, oh, what's her name? Helena Mankowska, who is the face of Lady D, guys, right? The face of Lady D. This one here, look, oh my goodness. Have a look at this. This is insane. She's gained about 7,000 followers after posting this photo here. That's her as Lady D. So take a look. Get in there. We're going to get her on the show as well, guys. She's the face. How cool is that? I don't know what her English is like, though. You know what I mean? I don't know how good her English is, so we'll see. Could be an interesting interview. Do you know what I mean? Could be interesting. Now, I want to thank everyone again who sent in super chats. You guys are amazing. Jason, Modern, Enter, Chirogenic, and thank you for becoming a best of the best, brother. Means a lot. Ethan, Gabrielle, Bishul, Mean, Seneth. All you guys are awesome, and I appreciate the support. If you want to become a member, of course, you can click that join button Don't forget, he voices, of course, the Hunter. He voices Carlos in Resident Evil 3, guys. So Jeff Shine, who plays Chris Redfield, also voices. He also voices Carlos in Resi 3. Hopefully, he'll joke about the Redfield bloodline meme jokes. I wonder if you'll know about that, Javier. And then I only need Big Cat. I only need Ethan, and we've got them all. We've only got one left. Todd Soley. I mean, we got Jesse. We haven't organised a date for him. Moreau. Besides that, I mean, we've got everyone, haven't we? Legend. Thank you, Northern. I've got to check out that interview you did as well. Interview with Moreau. Yeah, exactly. Michael Mando on one day, Michael Mando is Vas in Far Cry. I'd love to. I don't know if you guys have heard of Courtney Taylor. She's going to come on the show eventually in June as well. Can you get Aiden Pierce, Clancy from Resident Evil 7? Maybe I should get Sarah on. Sarah Coates. What do you think, guys? Amazing stream, Dan. Always wish you amazing rest of the week. You too, mate. Thank you. You're a legend, Dan. Thanks, Dan. No, my pleasure. Lewis, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. The baby, Leech. The baby. Hey, we just interviewed the baby. That was Paula. She's the baby. I'm pretty sure. Oh, I'd love to do Giro. I'd love to. I'm just trying to get a hold of him. Would Donna voice count even if it's on? Yeah, she only had one line. So it's a bit, one line in the game. Interview the baby. You know what I thought of doing? I thought of doing Interview the Baby. And I thought of doing the whole intro, the countdown. Guys, I got the baby coming on. And then we cut to the interview. And I just have it pre-recorded. So I ask a question. It's just that the webcam, the Zoom webcam comes up with the baby. And I just go, so baby, how'd you get into this game? And then I press a button and it goes, yummy. Dada. I go, okay, that's brilliant. So baby, what is this your first role? Yummy. I actually thought of doing that. It would be so effing stupid. I'll probably get a million dislikes. That's why I'm not doing it. But there's some behind the scenes for you guys. You enjoyed the interview yesterday? Who's been your favourite so far, guys? I don't like to pick favourites. But we've had Neil. We've had Becca, Paula. We've had Aaron. Have you had a favourite? Do it. I'm not doing it. Yeah, I'm interviewing Chris. That's Friday. Chris Redfield. Jeff Shine this Friday. Watching people's reaction to the baby is golden. I know. I should have recorded my first ever reaction. I was shitting myself. You would dupe us hard. Yeah, I know. Gee, man. You love Becca? Everyone's saying Becca. Yeah. She was awesome, guys. She really was awesome. Your favourite was Aaron, Superfly. I tell you what, he's a great guy, Aaron. He really is such a great guy. We were actually featured in an IGN article. Me and him. The Duke IGN. As you can see here. Move over, Lady D. The Resident Evil community loves the Duke. Speaking of the Duke, his music comes on. That's weird. As you can see here, it was one of the biggest Reddit posts. Hands down the best character. In an interview with Dan Allen, Duke voice actor Aaron LaPlante was asked if he expected a huge reaction. No, absolutely not. Not even for a second. I'm thrilled. So there you go. Bang. You had to stop, Kevin, after the baby. I know. I know, mate. Selena, thank you for the interviews. You're amazing. No, you're amazing. Stop it. You're going to make me cry. Do you think Donna was misunderstood, like it's another sad story of loneliness turned to evil? It is. I think all the characters are originally decent or good, and they've been turned. I mean, you could even say that for Mother Miranda, couldn't you? She just wanted her kid back. Really, it's quite sad. Everyone's, yeah. There's always got to be a motivation for the villain. You're not just born a villain most of the time. You know what I mean? He said his name too many times, so the music came up. When will you interview Lady D? That's happening Saturday, 3 p.m. PST. It's hard because they're all awesome. Becca's stream was probably my favorite. Love the Duke. That's the thing. I love them all as well. They were all fun in their own way. You know what I mean? It's the same when people say, who's your favorite Lord, Dan? Who's your favorite villain in the game out of the four? Well, there's different things. My favorite voice is Heisenberg. I love the voice and the performance that he put on. Who's the most commanding and the most interesting character? That'd be Lady D. What's the best section in the game? The most creepy? That'd be Angie and Donna. Who do you feel the most sorry for? The most sort of complex, weird Moreau. So they've all got their own, you know. What's next for the series? So it'll be Resident Evil 4 remake. I mean, that has to happen. There's no doubt about it. I mean, that's going to sell bonkers, isn't it? We're all going to get it here. Everyone here in chat's going to buy that game, along with millions of others of people. And I'd love to interview Leon from Resident Evil 4. Let me try and make that happen, guys. Let me try and make that happen. But in terms of Resident Evil 9, they're probably already started working on it. It's going to continue on with Rosemary Winters as a protagonist. You'll be playing as her, in my opinion. Ethan is alive, for sure. And, of course, it won't be Village or it won't be any of those characters. It'll be a new set of characters, villains. Not sure where it's set, how they'll tie it in. But, yeah, that's it's going to be probably the end of that trilogy, I would say. That'll be a trilogy of games. And then after that, I think Resident Evil 10, they go back to Leon and they do something with him. That's what I think they'll do. Resident Evil is the game of the year. For me, it is my favorite game of the year. So Resident Evil 8 is number 1 for me this year as we head into June. My second favorite would be Hitman 3. And my third favorite would be... What would my third favorite be? It'd be Little Nightmares 2. Richard, you finally played Days Gone. If you're playing Days Gone, I covered the shit out of that game, man. So go back and have a look at some of my videos on Days Gone. I did some experiments. I would love a CV remake. I mean, should we interview the voice of Donna? I mean, we could, guys. It's a bit of an awkward one because only one line. I don't know if that warrants an interview. I don't want to be rude. And it was a great performance by Andy. I'm not sure on that one. Because there's minor characters that have more to do. You know, like the guys in the village. I was considering to buy the game. Would you recommend it, Dan? Which one, Lewis? It's Game of the Year, easy for you, cool. Yeah. It's just so fun. How are you going to try the new Resident Evil 4 VR when it comes? I'd love to try the VR, for sure. $2024, you reckon? Resident Evil Remake. I mean, Albert Wesker might be an exception to the whole villain thing. What do you mean? You got to be in the game, Dad, as a cameo. I got to be in Resident Evil 9 as a cameo, guys. Come on. I mean, how cool would that be? Far out. Oh man, that'd be so cool. So cool. Yeah, I played Cyberpunk. Isn't Ethan and Miranda practically the same in terms of their character? Hey guys, here's a theory for you. Is Duke Mother Miranda? Is Duke Mother Miranda? Have you ever thought of that? Tales of Arise and Lost Judgment towards the end of the year. Going to probably be strong contenders. But Resi 8 is definitely... Yeah, so guys, I want to know. Let me know right now. What games are you looking forward to this year? What games are you looking forward to? And you're probably going to buy. Now, let me rattle off some of the games coming out this year. In case you don't remember. So, of course, Call of Duty, Battlefield. Now, what else have you got? We've got Kena Bridge of Spirits, Life is Strange, Deathloop. Far Cry 6. Ratchet and Clank, yeah. Horizon, Ratchet. Dying Light 2, Mass Effect. Skull and Bones, Ratchet and Clank. Battlefield. We've got Back for Blood. We've got Stray. We've got Halo. Some pretty good games coming out. So there'll be a few there that I cover, I think. I think I'm going to cover Ratchet and Clank on the channel. I think I might do it. The game looks fantastic. It'd be cool to get some of the cast on. We'll see. Horizon, Battlefield, Ratchet. Oh, we missed a super chat. Who was that? Legend that just gave in a super chat. Canna, can you interview the Mass Effect cast? Thank you for that dono, brother. Or sister, I don't know. Canna, you tell me. Mass Effect, Courtney Taylor, as I said. Jennifer Hale. I think we're going to get those two on. How does that sound? Did that scratch your itch? God of War, I'm definitely going to cover God of War. There's no doubt about that. God of War Ragnarok, I'm going to try and get the entire cast on. There's no doubt about that. If you were able to be in a Resident Evil 9 project, would you like to be the face model or character? I'd like to do both. But no, I'd be happy with a face model. I think that'd be hilarious. I'll interview myself. Oh, that'd be cool, man. Imagine that. You never know, guys. I've seen crazier things happen. There was plenty of cameos in Cyberpunk and other games of that nature. Would you buy a cardboard cutout of Lady D? Surely that would sell. Yeah, I mean, I could have one right here. That'd be quite funny, wouldn't it? A Lady D cutout. You should look at James Arnold Taylor's resume. How many characters he voiced. The guy's talented, I know. He does Ratchet, and I don't know how I'm going to get him on. The guy's pretty damn good at what he does. He's got so many characters. I'll do my best. Looking forward to Jennifer Hale. Thank you, man. That'd be cool. What's your reaction to Resident Evil Infinite Darkness trailer? I actually haven't watched it yet. I'm about going to straight after this. What did you think, Mitch? And what did you guys think? Can we be a family like before? Anything about Ethan's? No, guys, you gotta let Todd know on Twitter and Instagram that you want him on. You gotta help me out, guys. You gotta help me out. Now, while I've got you here, guys, I want you to do me a quick favor, alright? Will you do me a quick favor? I want you to head into YouTube, bring another tab open, if you're on your computer or whatever. And I want you to head to this link right here. I'm going to drop it in the chat. I want you to head into this link and just quickly drop a sub for your boy, alright? Okay, it's my second channel. Just quickly get in there and give it a quick follow. Dan Allen Gaming 2. Appreciate it, guys. Where were we? Do I stream on Twitch? I mean, should I stream on Twitch? What do you think? I've been thinking about it. I wish they would make more Heavy Rain Detroit become human games with good stories and multiple endings. Crack, I know. I love, as you know already, I love games that have different choices. I love to explore different choices on the channel. That's why I like the Call of Duty. It wasn't so much the story. It was the different choices and shit that you could play around with. I loved it. I had a bunch of fun covering that game. So I agree, Cracker. I agree. Ethan is alive. Who brought him back? Duke? Not sure, Manus, but he's definitely alive. How am I getting these interviews? Good looks, charm, and a boat ton of money? No. Literally just reach out to them via their managers or their social media and just say, look, these are the numbers. We've got a big, brilliant community. They want you on. Would you love to come on? And they say, yeah, let's do it. You have earned it after interviewing all the RE characters, not going to lie. Earned what, G-Man? As in being a face character in Resident Evil 9. Dan, have you played Returnal? It's amazing. You should get the voice of Celine. Hey, the Hunter. I've already got her on, brother. I've already got Jane Perry on. So I know what you're doing after this ends. Get in there. Get in there, man. Hey, we gained 30 subs on that channel. Thank you. I appreciate that. We're close to 500. We're close to 500, baby. Close to 500 subs on the second. I haven't played Returnal, by the way. If I could play a villain in RE8, what would it be? I would play Heisenberg. Ethan Winters. That supersize bitch. Let's see what you're really made of, Ethan Winters. Lycans and gentlemen. The trailer looked promising. I think it's the very least going to be fun to watch. Yeah, exactly, Kevin. I'll give it a crack after this. What's my magic? As I said before, there's no magic. It really isn't. I've found a niche, guys. I've done like 40 interviews with some really big names like Troy Baker. You can look at the list and I think, I don't know, they must respect what I do, or they like the format, they like Australians. I don't know. I don't know. Sub, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Who knows what sort of content you're going to get on that second channel, but it'll be entertaining. I'll look after you. I'll look after you. Thank you, Ralph. Thank you for subbing to both. I appreciate that. Have you played Amnesia? Dark Tulip. I have. It's a long time ago. My favorite game, Emery. Goodness me, that's a tough one. Depends when you ask. Depends what day.
At the moment, it's Uncharted 2. Apparently Elden Ring isn't going to be at E3. Oh, don't say that, Kevin. Don't say that. That's another thing I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to react to E3 live. So some of all the big game announcements. I hope you'll join me. We're all going to get in here. We're going to get excited, and hopefully we get some nice reveals. That'll be cool. Yeah, I definitely don't pay them $100K for an interview. I'll tell you right now. Thank you, Red. I appreciate it. Hey, that's a good one, Lost Places. I'll be in Resident Evil 9, I'll be a Lycan boss. I'm happy with that. I'm happy. Just give me the mini boss, about 3 hours into the game. You're 3 hours into the game, you got the Lycans or these sort of, the basic enemies, and then there's the big boy, the basic enemies. I'll be that. I look like a Lycan. Bit of Photoshop. I'll take it. What's those big guys called? Ulrich, Eldritch? The two brothers in Resident Evil 8 with the big hammers? What are they called? I'll be one of them. I need a sequel for Detroit. I know. The worst thing was the giant baby. Oh, 100%. Which person did I enjoy interviewing the most? It's like picking a favorite child. I can't really do that, Leech. But if you go back, probably my favorite of all time is Rob Wiedoff, who is John Marston. That guy is a legend. I don't think you understand. He is such a nice guy. We had a banger of an episode, and we're going to do it again. But next time we're going to do it for charity. We're going to try and raise some money as well. And it's going to happen this year at some point, I reckon. Who's the most hottest, Heisenberg or Dan? That's from Mitch. Oh boy. It's not me, I'll tell you right now. Santa Lycan. Kerwa, how you doing? Jolly. Thanks for the stream, man. We met yesterday at the bar in Samoga. Really like meeting you in person. Yeah, that wasn't me, man. I think you're trolling. I've had a few people say stuff like that. It was nice to meet you yesterday at the bar or this and that. It's like, yeah, that wasn't me. E3 hasn't been the same. I know. It hasn't. There should be a spider boss in the next Resident Evil. Who would win? Ethan or Chris in a 1v1? Chris? Rob was awesome. One of the best interviews you did for sure. His voice is just immaculate. It's pretty cool. Cassandra. Yeah, we can't do Cassandra. I get people asking me when are we going to get it. I don't think people realize that she passed away. The Jeanette who plays Cassandra. Jerry, howdy, Dan. How's your day? Oh, it's going great, mate. It's only 7:45 here at the moment. It's very early. So once this is done, get some breakfast in to the belly and get cracking on some videos. I'm going to do all Cassandra and all Daniela voice lines and scenes. Once those two are done, I'm going to do a Lady D video, a couple of Lady D videos. Now, I want to do I want to do a video. You can't laugh, alright? It's going to be called Lady D, thick, jiggle physics. Lady D, thick, jizzle physics mod, wiggle jiggle wiggle. Something just the most crazy fucking title you've ever heard. I'm just gonna throw it out there. It's gonna be demonetized. It's all good. It's gonna be a play on the fact that a lot of these guys have been doing those mods. You know, everyone's seen it. The spanking Lady D video and all that. I'm just gonna go crazy with the title. Jiggle, wiggle, diggle, fucking. Oh, I can't wait. I'm gonna do that today. You guys are gonna watch it now, aren't you? You know you are because you're intrigued. This is what I'm saying. You're intrigued by that title. Once I get the nice little thumbnail on, oh god, this music's on again. Shit. Hold on.
Mommy? Dada? Yummy.
I'm alive. Yeah, so I'm gonna do jiggle wiggle diggle physics mod, some crazy freaking name. It's gonna be a laugh, guys. You gotta watch the video, whatever it is. I'll promise it's entertaining. All right. Yeah, what's his name? Shirako. He's the guy that's been doing all these videos, right? The bastard taking all my views. No, he did spanking Lady D. I think he did the thick mod. I mean, the guy's making millions of dollars. This is not a joke, guys. He got like 12 million views on one video. That was one video. Another one had 7 million. I mean, it's gone crazy. I don't know if they get demonetized, but he's done a new one. I'm gonna fiddle around, all right? Justin, shouldn't have to pay $100K for an interview. It's about the love of the game, being social with another person. Exactly, Justin. All these voice actors are such nice people. They want to get their name out there. And it's not like they don't get anything out of these interviews. Like Becca, we had her on yesterday, and she'd never done one before. We had 150,000 people turn up, and she gained thousands of followers off it. I mean, she's getting something out of it. As well as, like, everyone loves her. Everyone loves asking questions. I mean, it's a no-brainer. If I was an actor, I would do it. Make another song for Lady D with a jiggle. Oh, jolly. Dude, that's such a good idea, man. How many of you saw my Lady D song? Lady D tribute. What's the view count? I mean, it's not a great view count, I'll tell you what. Right now, no one watched it. No one watched it. Not no one, but it was very... It's the wiggle jiggle lady. Plot twist, Dan the baby is Duke's true for. Oh, imagine that. You have to play Laughmaster with the jiggle physics going with the same beat. One second, guys. You can hear me. I'm still here. I'm on Zoom. That's why it's stuffing up. That's why it was stuffing up, because I was on Zoom. Alright, my Lady D song. You ready? Who hasn't heard it? Here we go. My Lady D tribute song.
Lady Dimitrescu, you're simply
the best.
Beautiful, scary, and 9 foot tall. I don't want a slice, I want it all. Oh, Lady Dimitrescu. Dimitrescu.
You're simply, simply the best.
It's not a
Contest.
I'd love to be
Your guest.
You might know the corporation
Of Umbrella.
Cassandra, Bella,
And Daniela.
Ferocious three daughters
Coming at me.
I'm scared to death. I'm
Out of breath. Oh, lady. I mean, it's a great song.
Lady, simply the best, better than all the rest. Oh, Lady
Dimitrescu. You're simply, simply the best.
9 foot tall and I want it all.
Blood around the floor. What I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to do a live version for the Lady D interview. So look forward to that. And you guys will know what the song is, but all the people joining from all over the place are going to be thinking, what in the actual fuck is that? That's going to be brilliant. It really is.
Because you're pretty
And majestic.
I'm cowardly and so pathetic. Bella and Daniela, ferocious three daughters coming at me. I'm scared to death. I'm out of my depth. Oh, Lady Dimitrescu.
Yeah, so that'll be fun. All right, guys. I hope you've had fun. As always, I'll see you tomorrow for Mia Winters. Katie O'Hagan, that's going to be a good one. Get your questions ready. It's going to be fun. And then we've obviously got Chris, Lady D, plenty more to come. And look out for that Jiggly Wiggly video that's coming out today. I don't know what time it is in your country, but in the next couple hours I'm going to get that done. Lady D, Jiggle Wiggle, Physics, Thick Mod, Huge, Personality. All right, guys. Let's, I want you to have a good one and take care. Peace.